Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to another episode of Dinner Guide. My name is Chef Andy, and today I've got something interesting for you all. Today we're going to be working on a very simple pastry dish. We're going to be making a lemon meringue pie. And just to start us off, I'll start by introducing the ingredients before us today. So from the farthest end, I've got some beautiful lemons there and some sugar. I also have some cornstarch, some vanilla essence, and some margarine. I also have 3 eggs in here separated, so I've got some 3 egg yolks and 3 egg whites. I've also got a bit of sugar, and here I've also got a dish, a case that we've actually been doing in advance, so I'll basically show you and take you through the process of how this is done. And last but not least, a bit of some regular water. So we're going to go into a short break now. Grab your pens and papers if you're taking notes for this particular recipe. And when we come back, we're going to dive right into it. So don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're just about now starting to work on our dessert, and we're going to actually start off by making our filling. So I will start off by turning on the heat, and to that we're going to be adding our sugar. I'll also be adding 1 cup of water, and to that we'll incorporate a bit of this beautiful vanilla essence. And we're just going to allow that to first of all come to the boil. So I'm just going to turn the heat a little higher. I'm just going to use a whisk to dissolve that sugar a little faster. So this basically is the first process, and basically what we're making now is our lemon curd. So I'm just going to use my whisk to just quickly just rush the process of dissolving the sugar. We're just going to allow that to come to the boil. And while that continues, we're actually now going to start making our zabayon, which is basically the thickening of the lemon curd. And to that we're going to start off by adding 3 egg yolks to a bowl. And we're going to start off by whisking those just until they get to that beautiful ribbon stage. Right, so once your egg yolks are nice and creamy, you can actually hold that process and hold it at that point. Now what we're going to now follow that up with is just combining a bit of that lemon juice and the lemon rind. So I'm just going to grab a grater placement there. And we're going to start off by just getting a bit of that beautiful zest. So I'm just going to start off by zesting some of that skin. And all you need to do now is just scrap that from the back of your grater and just add that to the egg yolk. We're also going to be incorporating a bit of some lemon juice as well. So all you need to do now is just cut 2 whole lemons, and our sugar now is ready. So we're just going to allow that to cool off slightly. Now next up, we're going to proceed to squeeze our lemon juice. So I'm just going to squeeze those through a strainer here just to aid us in taking out the seeds. So squeeze as much juice as you can out of your lemons, and just proceed to do the same for the second piece. And then just discard the rest. And all we're going to do now is proceed to whip our sugar mixture into the bowl. So I'm just going to really pour it really slowly. And the particular reason for pouring it slow is to make sure you don't actually cook your egg yolks too quickly, or you don't pour in too much and cook your eggs. So very crucial to really start whipping before you pour in your sugar mixture. So just add it in there as you continue whipping continuously. And just proceed to do so until all your liquid is incorporated. And once completely whipped together, just pour your mixture back into your pots. And now all you're going to do is turn on the heat and continue to reduce your lemon curd until it's a little thick. But just to aid in really thickening that a little faster, we've got some cornstarch, which is a very simple technique. All you need to do is just grab a bit of water and then dissolve your cornstarch in there. And I'm just going to use a whisk. So all you need to do is just dissolve your cornstarch with a bit of the water, and as soon as your liquid comes to the boil, add your cornstarch in there and proceed to whip, monitoring your mixture. Remember, this is going to continue thickening as you mix, so very important that you continue to watch your mixture. All you need to do at this stage is continue to mix your mixture together as you actually continue to thicken your mixture. So remember, the cornstarch that we just added in there will actually aid the mixture in really thickening, and that's basically going to create that beautiful lemony feeling for your pie. And this is now just about starting to come together. Just going to allow that to bubble a little bit while it continues to thicken. We're just going to turn the heat really low and allow that to continue to thicken slowly. And then turn off the heat. Once your mixture just starts to raise to the top of the pot, proceed to continue mixing and just aid it in cooling a little faster. And we're just going to pour that into a bowl and allow that to continue cooling off. And you can now discard the rest. And now next up, very simple, you're basically now going to start making the meringue, which is basically going to top your dessert. And for that you will actually need as well another bowl and a whisk. And all you're going to do now is add your egg whites to the bowl. And proceed to start whipping your mixture. And be sure to actually also tilt your bowl. It always gives you a bit of an advantage when you're trying to whip your egg whites. Also gives it a little bit of air. And all you need to do is continue whipping your mixture until you get to the firm peak stage. So this should actually give you quite a bit of time. It actually gives you quite a bit of time to allow your filling to actually cool off. And remember, it being egg white, some of you might not actually enjoy whipping this by hand. If you do have a hand mixer or a cake mixer at hand, you can actually just whip it in the machine. It will save you a bit of effort. But we're basically doing it by hand for the purposes of those who actually don't own the machines. And one secret I will share, this particularly would be the best machine you'd ever have in your kitchen. So just proceed to keep whipping your mixture. It's now in the foamy stage. We're just going to continue whipping that until we've got a more stiff and more easy to handle consistency. So this will continue to double in size. You can actually change hands if you're able to and just continue to mix or to whip. Change hands once more and proceed to continue whipping. Remember, particularly it's very important at this stage to not stop whisking, because your mixture could actually fall, and once it deflates you may have to actually start the whole process from scratch. So very handy as well if you're trying to make it for the first time. Always actually try and make sure to have enough eggs to be able to do the same if it actually fails on you. As you can see, it's now in the very soft peak stages. And now that's about the soft foamy peaks starting to form. At this stage you can actually incorporate just a bit of lemon juice. It will aid you in really keeping your meringue mixture very stable, and it also aids in trying to get your meringue to really hold shape a little faster. I'm just going to continue whipping that for another 4 or 5 minutes. We're going to also add just a little bit of vanilla essence in there, just for a bit of flavor. And you can actually now start to incorporate your sugar as well, adding in small amounts. Remember, it's also very crucial to not stop whisking until you've got your meringue really stable. Continue to add your sugar. You can actually now add the rest of your sugar. Your mixer is now just about at the stiff peak stage, but you can actually do a trial and just tilt your bowl sideways. If your mixture is still sliding through the bowl, you know it's still not ready. So what we're looking for is a more firm consistency that can actually hold as soon as you turn your bowl around, and you'll be able to see that in a little while. You can actually do another trial, and as you can see, your mixer is just starting to really slide down the bowl a little slower than the beginning. And these are particularly the most significant signs you will be able to tell when you're almost done. But before that continues, we're gonna as well get to the oven and start to reheat. Remember, all we need is to get that top element to just brown the meringue at the top, which you'll be able to see now. Then you can actually now incorporate the rest of your lemon juice and your vanilla and just continue to whip. So as you can see, the egg yolks do actually double up quite a little bit in size. And now at this stage you really need to be very careful because your meringue mixture can really deflate really quickly. So it's very important that you try and do this in a very controlled room. If you're actually working in a very hot room, I would recommend open the windows, make sure there's a bit of a circulation of some fresh air, because with a little bit of heat all this mixture could actually collapse really quickly. You can just do another check, and as you can see, once you turn your bowl upside down, your mixture should actually be able to hold itself really well, and you know your meringue mixture is ready to go. Now next up, very simple process. Remember, we already have a case here that we did a little earlier. If you're looking for recipes for this, we do have previous episodes that we've actually done some pie filling cases, which you can actually be able to go back to our videos on YouTube. You should be able actually to trace them. But now this is now ready to go. All I'm left to do now is add my lemon curd mixture on the inside. And all we're going to do now is just throw this in the oven, let it continue to cook and just thicken slowly. And we're going to leave it in there and take a short commercial break, but I'm just going to slide that in now. I'm just going to move this fittings around as well. So be sure to just make sure to have your rack right in the center of the oven before you do so. And then just proceed to add your container in there. And now my oven is set at between 180 to 200 degrees. So I'm just going to allow the curd to sit in there and just to continue to thicken a little bit. After that, I'm going to take it out. We're going to add the meringue mixture on top, and then we're just going to color it really well in the oven and cook the meringue slightly and basically call the dish a complete success. So we're going to slide into a short commercial break now, but don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who just missed out, we were just setting our curd in the oven, and I'm now just about to take it out, and we're going to actually put the meringue filling and finally put it back and brown it, and that should actually complete the dish in general. So I'm going to first of all start by taking that out of the oven. Basically, all I'm going to do now is turn it to the element and then start to reheat again. So turning the element on, meaning we are basically going to be using just the top element, which is basically just going to brown our meringue mixture. So I'm going to start off by just scooping that meringue right over the top of the lemon curd. Making sure to try and cover as much of the top layer as possible. And and just proceed to really give a nice heavy scoop of that lemon meringue right over the top. Right, simple as that. Be sure to not waste any of that filling. And now all you're left to do now is throw that in the oven, get the meringue to brown really quickly, and then take it out. So we're just going to move that back into our hot oven again. And now basically we're going to allow that to brown in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. And we're going to take another quick short commercial break. But when we do come back, I'll be able to show you once the meringue is cooked, once it's nicely browned. And we're basically going to go to the last and final step, which is basically just to finish it and plate it. So please don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are now just at the last and final stage of our lemon meringue, and it's now just nicely browned. We're now going to take it out of the oven. And now our lemon meringue pie is now totally done and is now ready to serve. So this will probably take a bit of time just to cool off on the top, so we're not going to disturb it by taking out of the pan too early. I'm just going to set it off onto the plate. Just simple as that. And remember, you'd probably not serve it this way. This would probably just sit for a while. You'd actually be able to actually take this out, and maybe we can actually try to do that. So I'm just going to quickly grab some lifters here, and we're just going to try and see if we can try and slide that out really gently. So very simply just try and slide your lifters right underneath that case. And well, this is a little soft, it might not be able to come out really easily at the moment. So I'm just going to set it off on the plate like that. And just a little decoration to just give it a bit of life. Probably just cut a few slices of lemon. And just basically just set those on the sides like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very, very simple to make lemon meringue pie. Now this will probably have to sit out for about an hour to an hour and a half, basically giving you enough time to let the curd cool off. The meringue is actually going to cool off, and it's just going to hold its shape like that. And this should actually be ready to consume anywhere between 4 to 5 hours from the time you actually finish that very last step. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you managed to pick something that will really give you a bit of a morale in your kitchen and give you a bit of a drive to try and make the same dish in your very own kitchen. But from our side, that is as simple as it is. I hope if you do have any questions, you're probably going to air those out on our Facebook page. We do always appreciate to get your feedback, to get back your feedback as well. And me and my directors or me and my producers are always looking forward to getting back to you with as much info as we can. So thank you so much for tuning in, and until the next episode of Dinner Guide, thank you so much once more. And from my end, it's a lovely goodbye to you all.